So if you've ever tried to win a government contract, you know the process is supposed to be fair, right? But what happens when it isn't? What do you do when you run into illegal barriers, these so-called gatekeepers, standing in your way? Well, today we're not just talking about the problem, we're giving you the tools to actually defeat it. Let's start with the most important principle of all. Fair competition isn't just a nice idea or, a friendly suggestion. It is the law, and it's specifically designed to protect the integrity of government bidding. And the foundation for this whole thing? That would be the new Government Procurement Act, or RA 12009. Think of this law not just as an update, but as a promise to every single business out there that you have a fair shot. Now, this promise is really built on two core pillars. First up is transparency. This means all procurement info has to be accessible to build public trust. And second, competitiveness. Every single qualified supplier has to have an equal opportunity. These two principles, they're the absolute bedrock of a fair system. Okay, but if the law promises a level playing field, why doesn't it always feel that way? That brings us to the real-world challenge that can undermine this entire process, the problem of illegal gatekeeping. So what exactly is gatekeeping? Well, it's any illegal practice by a procuring entity that deliberately restricts your access and limits competition. These gatekeepers create these totally unfair advantages, basically slamming the door on qualified bidders in direct violation of the law. The conflict here couldn't be clearer, really. The law demands openness, but gatekeepers thrive on secrecy. The law requires a level playing field, but what do gatekeepers do? They build obstacles. It's a total clash between what is legally required and what illegally happens in practice. All right, let's get specific. We're going to break down 3 of the most common illegal barriers you're likely to face, starting with a big one, fake accreditation. Does this sound familiar? You're all set, you're ready to bid, but then you're told you have to go through some kind of special, internal screening process first. This is a classic gatekeeping tactic, and let me tell you, it is absolutely illegal. Let's bust this myth right now. The whole idea of a special in-house clearance is just not real. The law is incredibly explicit. Your valid and updated PhilJEPS Platinum membership is your all-access pass. There is one central registry and one only. That's it. And this is your right. No internal reviews before you can get the documents. Your PhilJEPS Platinum membership is what proves you're eligible to participate. Any procuring entity that tries to force extra steps on you is what the law calls simulating eligibility requirements, and as we'll see later, that is a specifically punishable offense. Okay, on to the second barrier. This one isn't about your qualifications. It's about pure physical access. And it's especially a problem for businesses that aren't located, right next door to their procuring entity. I mean, just think about the time and the money wasted here. Being told that the only way to get the bidding documents is to show up in person, that's a major obstacle, and it's designed to limit competition. It's also a clear violation of the law. And the law couldn't be clearer on this. It uses the word shall, not may, not should. The Bids and Awards Committee shall post the complete documents on its website and the PhilJEPS website. That's a mandate. It means they must be available for you to download. So let's be crystal clear about your rights here. Online posting is not optional. You have the right to download those documents. Any entity forcing you to pick them up physically is actively breaking the rules that were set up to ensure a fair and competitive process. Period. This brings us to our third barrier, which is all about using technology to ensure transparency, or, in the case of gatekeepers, refusing to. In today's world, this is just inexcusable. These events are critical parts of the procurement process. Denying remote access means only the people who can be physically present can participate or observe, which fundamentally undermines transparency. Now here, the law makes a really critical distinction. For pre-bid conferences, it says they may be held online, which means the entities have the full legal ability to do so. But for the actual bid opening, the language gets stronger. It shall be live streamed to the public. That is a non-negotiable requirement. You have a right to observe. The system is designed for virtual access, and when it comes to that bid opening, live streaming isn't a courtesy, it's a mandatory safeguard. Denying this access is a massive red flag that the process might not be as fair and transparent as the law demands. So we've identified the barriers, but what happens to the people who create them? This is where the law really shows its teeth. It's not just about knowing your rights, it's about knowing the consequences for those who violate them. Remember this number, 92. This is Section 92 of the law, the part that deals specifically with what happens to public officers who act as gatekeepers. Just look at this list. Simulating eligibility requirements? Hey, that's our fake accreditation barrier. Delaying the process, showing preference, opening bids early, these are specific, prohibited acts. The law explicitly calls out the exact behavior of gatekeepers. And the consequences are clear. The law doesn't just frown on these actions. It says any public officer found responsible shall be held administratively liable with all the penalties that come with it. We're talking real, tangible repercussions. So look, the law provides the framework for a fair and competitive process. It clearly defines your rights, and it sets clear penalties for anyone who violates them. The rules are on your side. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with this knowledge?